Hi ho, it's Silver with today's happiness hack, which is be nicer to yourself. And there's a number of different ways that you can do that. Commit to being kind. Now, kindness seems like you're doing something for somebody else, but honestly, kindness is a great gift to yourself because it feels so good. And they've done studies, and it turns out that when you are kind to someone, not only does it make you feel good, and not only does it make them feel good, but anybody who sees the kindness, it makes them feel good too. So it has a real ripple effect, and mostly it's something that just is pleasurable. So be kinder, and also be kind to yourself. You deserve it. So say loving things to yourself. When you find yourself critical about anything that you've done, maybe argue with yourself the way you would stand up for a friend, and be kind to yourself that way. The next way to be nice to yourself is to actually calm your inner critic. We all have that little voice inside of our head that says, oh, I can't believe you did something so stupid, or you're never going to get that done, or I don't know why you're such a dreamer. Whatever it is that your voice says to you, it's important. My voice actually on a regular basis will say to me, what difference does it make anyway? And that's always looking for a reason to quit when something gets a little tough. But you know what? You can argue with your inner critic, just as you would argue with somebody who said those things to you outside of your brain. So be nice to yourself, calm your inner critic, and just argue with it. So whenever my inner critic says, what difference does it make anyway? I respond and say, well, it makes a big difference because you'll feel so good when you complete this. Along those same lines, you want to forgive yourself. Look, there's only one perfect being as far as I know, and it's not me. So I make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes probably every single day. So it's important that you're able to forgive yourself because, look, who needs somebody beating themselves up internally all the time? You're going to make mistakes. The best thing I ever heard about this is to ask yourself, what would you do differently next time? And then do that. We are all learning, we're all growing, and thank goodness, because that makes life worth living. Along with quiet your inner critic and forgive yourself is be your own advocate. Look, we all need an advocate. It's always nice if it's somebody outside of ourselves, but we can't ever depend on that person being around all the time. So be your own advocate. Talk about the things that you do well to yourself, acknowledge them, say, go get them. I know that seems a little silly, but you know by now that I'm silly about this stuff, but it really makes a difference when you are your own advocate, and it makes a difference in your self-confidence and, more importantly, in your happiness. So go get them. Finally, a great way to be kinder to yourself is to forget perfection. Now, this is something I know a little bit about. I suffer from perfectionism, and I am recovering from it, but I'm not completely there yet. I want things to be done perfectly. In fact, I joke, but it's really, my family doesn't think it's any joke, that over the holidays, I wanted all of the holiday dinners to be perfect, and I was like Martha Stewart on crack. If one napkin was out of place, or if they didn't light the candles, or heaven forbid, the men in my family would gobble down their dinner and then rush off to the football game, which they do all the time, then I would go a little bit crazy. And I wasn't really hurting anybody but myself. So perfectionism is something that it's a form of self-abuse, I believe. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't strive for your best, but if you're always expecting yourself to be perfect, you're never gonna be. Take it from me, I tried for years to be perfect, and I have finally given up the ghost. And just think about what it feels like when you're not perfect, when you don't achieve perfectionism. I get really angry. It's not nice. And again, the only one suffering from that anger is me. So a way to be kind to yourself is give up perfectionism. Sometimes good enough is good enough. Now, that's my happiness hack. Be nicer to yourself. And do think about joining our Facebook group, which is Humor and Happiness with Silver Rose. And remember, you deserve to be happy, and it is possible. Bye for now.